today we're going to learn how to do a sugar skull with a Mother Nature twist. We're going to be using black, red, white, green. I'm making our own pink, you know, just mixing the colors. So let's begin by, I have this little guy right here, and this is a white face paint marker. And what I'm going to start by doing is doing the outline of what your skull should look like. We're going to leave the spaces that are going to be black just blank on our face. So we're going to begin. Let's start by circling our eyes, the part that's going to be white, because your eyebrow wants to be in the black. So go right around the top of your eye. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on our nose. So the nose piece right here comes down to a little point where it's going to be black. So you want to go up and down, up. Make like a little M. And this is going to be kind of messy the first time around. Once you get the black, you can fix and fill in the holes. So we're going to go straight down the side of your nose. Go straight. Okay. Next thing we're going to do. So our teeth, they're going to come out about an inch. Where these marks are, we want to come right to the top, right about there. We're going to start to curve it with our jawbone to get that hollow space in here where our cheeks aren't. So we'll do that on this side too. That side, that side. Now we're going to finish doing the rest of the jaw down here. So with this same white, just you don't have to color in your whole face. It's not like we're trying to fill in all the spaces, because once you get a good layer on there, you can take and use your fingers to smear the white around and get a good base coat. I've got my base white coat. And when we're done, we can come back with a little bit of white highlights and really brighten up a bunch of stuff. So our next step that we're going to do is we're going to fill in some of this black. So I'm going to begin with my eyes, and then I'm going to move on to the rest of the spots here. So go ahead and fill all those little spaces in. Got both eyes done. We want to focus on our nose. Now here, we want to make sure that we get the two sides. So it comes to 2 points up the side and there's a little bit of white that shows down. So we're going to go one side a little bit. The other side just a little bit. Make it come down to a little bit of a point. Make so on the bottom. And then fill this in. Alright, we've got our nose filled in. You can use your finger at this point too to kind of soften it up and blend those edges in. So here we're going to fill in these cheekbones now. Don't forget about those little temples right here where the black goes. Our next thing we're going to do, I'm going to pull out this bad boy here. I have some black eyeshadow. So I'm going to use this black and darken up the real deep spots. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to use this white. Just make sure that you got enough on your mouth to keep the teeth area we're going to do. Pretty white. Now that we're going to be working on some more of the detail of the face, we're going to draw in our teeth and then we'll be shading them in just a little bit so they have more than just harsh lines and be working on our whole face. So what we're going to do, this is where the Snazaroo paints come in handy because you can mix them with water and they really turn out just like paint. And since I've misplaced those, I'm going to be using just paint. So from the corners of your mouth, out, same on the other side. You really want to use a fine brush for this. See with those thick lines, you're going to get these really undefined teeth and they won't look so great. Like so, and if it bleeds a little bit, that's okay. So we're going to put our black line right down the middle. So I'm going to dry off that brush that I just used to do my paint with, and I'm going to go right back in using that same detailed brush once it's all dry. I'm going to use that same brush to add in little shading details to the teeth around the bottoms and the side with eyeshadow. So just like this, you find I'm going to focus on this tooth right here, my front, on this side of my face, my right side, your left if you're watching. And on the bottoms where they come to a rounded point near your mouth, you want to shade in those sides just a little bit. Do that for every tooth, just lightly. We're going to come back in with some white. So our next part here that we're going to do is this top bone kind of comes over the last two. They don't just abruptly go white then black. So I'm going to pull this line over a little bit and kind of shade those teeth in a little bit like, so just with eyeshadow. Kind of make it look like those teeth are disappearing into that black part. That's how you get that cool effect where it looks kind of 3D. You want to do that for the bottom as well. Got this side, and we've got this side. Just your black Snazaroo. Mix a little bit of water into it, and I'm going to round these teeth up just a tiny bit so they're not square. You don't want to cover up too much of that shading that you did, so these are really just on the very corners. So we've got this really nice pretty mouth now, and this is where your white Snazaroo paint is going to come into handy. I'm going to mix a little bit of water with my white Snazaroo paint, and just on the lower parts of my teeth, you don't want to have too thick of a white. I'm going to highlight those teeth with a real bright white. Alright, now that I've got them brightened up just a little bit, our next area is we're going to darken up the black lines where our white meets our black. So with our black Snazaroo paint, we're going to come in, just do the sides, the corners of our mouth, right where the white and the black meet, just darken that line. I'm going to go to my other side here and do the same thing. Okay, they're both pretty darkened up. So we have to fix the memory card. So I already darkened in the corners of my nose. Yeah, I add a little bit of detail and just clean up the edges by doing the same thing we did along the cheekbones and the jawbones. So the nose is already done, so now we're going to work on to going around our eyes. Alrighty, there's our eyes. Last black with this, we'll want to do, put a little black towards where my hair is. And I use my finger and I kind of smear it in. So some flowers will be here in my hair and also over here. But I'm going to paint some on my face so it looks like the flowers are part of my face and the hair. So with this detail brush that we're using with the black, I'm going to put my lighter green on there. And right here on the top of my right eye, I'm going to bring this vine Right next to this vine here, I'm going to add a little flower. So I'm going to put a line or a little leaf. And our next vine, just while we're working with the green, he's going to come out over here. It's right next to him. So we got these two vines, these ones down here. So now with a little bit darker green, I'm going to come back and on the bottom part, so not the top part of the vine, but the bottom part, I'm going to use this darker green and I'm going to give it a little bit of a shading so it doesn't look just flat. I'm going to start my rose with white first so I know where I'm going. And I've got this light pink picked out. Kind of fill in those spaces in between the leaves. Okay, so now I'm going to put some dark detail in. Just using plain red. That's going to be my other rosebud over there. So with that detail brush that we've been doing doing some details with, I'm going to dry it off and I'm going to use it in my black eyeshadow again. I'm going to not go too evil because Mother Nature, she's pretty nice. So right here where your eyebrow ends in the middle, you're going to pull up a little crescent shape. Kind of like that, so it looks like you're going. You want to do it on the other side too. So over here, just into your eyes. Once you have the lines down where it's supposed to go, you can darken up the bottom half of that line just a little bit more. Just the bottom, not the top. So it kind of makes almost like a triangle shape. You can make it, if you want it to look like you're really going, kind of curve them up a little bit more like so. We're also going to give ourselves a little bit of eyeline, or our bone definition, our cheekbone. So right here, on the underside of your rose, not on the petals and not on leaves, you want to put a little bit of a shadow. And that's what we want. We want it to look real, like it's just. So sorry about my sound effects. Wow. I'm going to come back in and put a little bit of a hook with this black. Not the full shape of that shading, just a little hook of it. And we want to, right here, we made these bone lines. Little line. I don't want to do it too thick on that side. Rose here. So the roses lay on top of the leaves, so it's good to do the leaves first, but don't get too close. So I've got this side over here, a little rosebud done. Make sure my brush is pretty dry. So here I've got white eyeshadow and I'm dipping my detail brush into it. And between this little area right here we're going to put a little bit of a white highlight right there. This shows us where the light hits that part of our bone versus the rest of it. Now I'm going to put a little bit on my teeth. Alright, so this is the basic, what we're going to do with our face. This is pretty much it. But to pull off the whole Mother Nature look, we have to do our hair. And so I have this hair tie right here, and I'm going to use this to do my hair. It's really easy. Get this long pole over here, and I take this and I lay it on the back, and I pull my hair forward, and I take and I wrap it around that headband all the way to this side. Here's the beautiful Mother Nature hair. See, I have this rose. It's kind of similar to this one right here. You can even do the rose better if you'd like. There's one thing that I forgot to do. Well, not forgot to do. It's really up to you if you want to do it. is to define a little more the jaw underneath. So with my detail brush, I'm gonna go back in. And there you've got it, a beautiful Mother Nature skull painting. So if you would like to learn how to do this, ta-da! If you'd like to check out some more cool stuff, you can always visit creativedenae.com. Stay creative and happy Halloween, and I hope you guys brush your teeth. See you later.